What's up guys, it's Andrew, and today I wanted to make a guide for Ice PvP. Now let me explain, this is an extremely complex guide that will require a lot of patience and time to get everything needed to succeed. Alright, now that's out of the way, let's begin. Alright, first off, I'll begin with the gear. The hat I use is the Royal Fossire's Shackle, which you could get from the U-Dire pack in Christmas Eve or Christmas in July for only 262 crowns. I'm using the level 100 tier because it's currently the best available out there. I use this hat mainly because it gives you a lot of necessary things, especially if you're an ice wizard. It gives you pop-up chance, accuracy, pierce, and high damage. The robe I use is the Sultan's robe from the Mega Bundle, which you could buy for only a limited time. Every once in a while, KI releases it for like a week or like 2 days, and then it just goes away. But I chose the level 100 tier because it's currently the best with high block and high damage with a good amount of resist, and it's pretty much better than the Unseen Shell Lord armor in my opinion. The boots I use is the Sultan shoes. It's currently the best boots you could probably get in the game in my opinion because it has great accuracy, good amount of health, high block with extremely high damage. Now the only useless thing about this is the rock, because I don't really use it, but that's alright. Next we'll get on with the deck setup. So this is currently my deck setup. It's very complex for me to explain it to you. Sometimes it changes, sometimes it doesn't, and you need a lot of gold and patience to farm or craft every piece of gear that you need. I have one Balefrost just in case my TC Balefrost run out, which you will see later. I have one Colossus for the finishing kill. Cooldown for those spammers. I just keep this just in case I meet life that just uses Spiny to just finish people off. One stun, just in case. One Frostbite. One Ice Weaver. Blades, of course. I use 4 Acrobatic Winds, just in case. I don't really use them even when they come up. It's like on rare occasions. I have 2 King Artorias. You could add more, but I usually keep 2 because I usually have some in my side deck. I have 3 Lord of Winters, which is extremely handy in situations when people are blade stacking. And all I have to do is Lord of Winter, there goes all their pips, and they're usually dead. I use 1 Melt, which is very good in situations when you're about to hit and you don't have enough pips. Or should I say, like the opponent does not have enough pips yet, and you think they're about to Tau Shield, so you just use Melt, and that dispels the Tau Shield. I use 1 Ice Guardian. Sometimes I use it, not really a lot. I put in 2 Snow Angels, which is extremely handy, just like the Lord of Winter. It's extremely handy when doing combos with Winter Moon and Snow Angel. I add 1 Snowdrift just for the effect. 1 Steel Ward, 1 Stun Block. Tower shields, volcanic shields. I usually have more of this in my deck, but currently right now I only have 1. I have Winter Moon, which is extremely important in this deck. It is much better than Frost Giant, and it does a decent amount, which is more than a decent amount of damage, and it gives you a stun for 1 round. It's really good when using combos. I usually use a combo of Ice Bird, Bubble, Winter Moon, and then another Winter Moon, and that usually does 4,000 or 6,000 depending on the resist the person has, and it usually kills. Alright, and I put in 1 Woolly Mammoth, and I have Colossals, of course, which you will need. You could also replace this with Gargantuan, but Colossals really the best you could probably get. I have 1 Sharpened Blade. I don't really use it a lot, but it is handy when stacking blades. I put in 1 Satyr. Now this deck setup isn't really about healing. I mean, you could put in much more Satyrs just to keep yourself in healing shape, but I don't really use it since my entire strategy revolves around using combos, and if I can't really spare pips for a heal. I put in 1 Infallible, which is extremely useful. If you have a pet that would make cast Infallible, you could probably get rid of this. I put in 1 Sleet Storm. I don't really use it a lot anymore because of all the fires out there that I fight. 1 Doom and Gloom. I use it sometimes. 1 Feint. Extremely handy. 1 Infection. 2 Reshuffles. You always need 2 Reshuffles. And your side deck and your main deck. 1 Weakness. Dark Nova. And Shrike. And the amulet, I don't really have a specific amulet for. You could use any amulet you like. Anyways, let's get on to the TC deck. The TC deck, really, I'm just going to empty it out right now because it's not really in complete form. I'm going to have to go and enchant a lot of other things just to make it right. I put in, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4 tower shields, 4 Balefrost, usually 5 sometimes. Icebergs, this is really needed in the combo unless you have Icebird pet. I usually put in 5 Icebirds. Next on, I put in 1 Evil Snowman, 2 Blizzard, 4 Blue Phoenixes, just in case, because it does a high amount of damage, especially with the bubble, and it's only for 4 pips, so it's extremely handy. Winter Moon, I usually put in 6. I usually put in 2 Frostbite. Sometimes I put in a Snow Angel, but I don't really have an enchanted version. I only have a pierced version right now. I don't really use Intego a lot. It really depends on the current strategy I'm using. Sometimes I use a Life Mastery. You'll see why. I usually put in 4 Infallibles. Sometimes usually 3, because if my deck does not have enough space. And 1 Cleanse Charm, 1 Weakness, 1 Reshuffle. Now you could always get rid of a Balefrost or an Ice or Blue Phoenix just to add another reshuffle. That's what I usually do, and sometimes I even go out of my way to actually get rid of Frostbite to add a weakness. So I'm just gonna get onto my stats right now. We're using the roller shotgun. I already explained this. All right, there we go. There we go. Here we are, and here we are. For the wand, I use the Winter Palace's Spike Leaf Sword, which is really handy, especially with the Power Pip chance, and it gives you high block. I would really recommend Teeth of Lord of Knights, but I haven't really got that, so I'm just sticking with this. Athame, Blade of the Feltine. You could also use Morgam's Athame. Ring, I use Blade Alpha and Omega Ring. Sometimes I use the Ring of Blaze Desert. I use sometimes of the Chrysalis Rings, not a lot. My pet right now, I'm really working on the pet, trying to get triple damage, double resist, and a heal or infallible, but it's kind of hard. So right now I use Lexi with double damage, unicorn, and resist, which is comes in handy. The deck I use, extremely important, deck of Winter Shadows. The extra pip is extremely handy. Now to explain you the rest of my setup. Okay, so like I was explaining earlier, I have 83 damage to the rest of the schools, 91 damage to ice, 22 resist to fire, storm, myth, death, and balance, and 31 to ice, 42 to life. I have 12 accuracy to every school, which I sometimes fizzle, but it's super rare. I have 162 critical to every other school, and for ice I have 165 critical. The block, for block I have 312 universal block, which is extremely handy. It rarely comes. Once in a while people like pierce the block, but it's like super rare. My power clip chance is extremely good for nice, 85%. Incoming and outgoing 17. Armor piercing is 30. Sorry, my bad, 3. That's basically the entire stat. I mean, I could show you a video of how it worked, but it's kind of complex, and I'm pretty sure I already recorded one before, so you know, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Remember to like, subscribe. Peace out.